Follow me. As she headed toward the ladies' room, at this point Daniel knew better than to argue, as he certainly did not want a repeat performance of earlier that day. Once inside the ladies' room, Daniel was instructed to use the stall next to Olivia. She reminded him that he needed to sit down to take care of his business. As Daniel was relieving himself, Olivia whispered through the stall wall, "Don't forget to wipe yourself, Missy, and after you're done, use one of those pads I put in your purse to keep you fresh." Daniel followed his wife's instructions, odd as he thought they were. When he was finished, he automatically followed Olivia's lead and freshened his makeup at the mirror, wondering why in the world he was behaving this way, and even worse, why he was getting this odd enjoyment from this complete experience. Once they had loaded all of their packages in the car, Olivia said, "One more stop and then we can go home. I want you to put on a fashion show for me tonight, modeling all your beautiful new clothes." Olivia drove them to a Western wear store not far from the mall. There, she told Daniel that finally they were going to get those matching outfits, exactly matching. In the store, Olivia picked out several skirt and top combinations and purchased 2 of each. Daniel also got some new cowboy boots, including a pink pair that would be perfect with one of the outfits Olivia had chosen. The last purchase they made was a square dance dress that was sickeningly sissy-ish. It was pink and was covered in lace, with a very full petticoat and matching pink panties covered in rows of white lace on the front and bottom. Olivia demanded that Daniel model the dress, and he was totally embarrassed as she made him twirl around and around, pointing out his panties to anyone who would care to look. "You're lucky I don't make you wear that home," Olivia whispered. "Wouldn't the neighbors get a kick out of that little number?" After the fashion show on Sunday night, Daniel was allowed to remove his makeup and the red polish from his fingernails. While getting ready for work on Monday, he noticed that his male underwear was missing from his drawers, and only panties and other lingerie remained from their shopping trip the day before. He asked Olivia where his underwear was, and she replied, "Now, Daniel, you can't wear male underwear. You shall wear beautiful ladies' underwear." Daniel did not agree with his wife and said, "I can't wear ladies' underwear to my office. If anyone finds out, I will lose my job. Why do you always worry about others? You shall live your life," Olivia replied. He had no choice but to agree and soon found himself not only wearing panties, but also a camisole and pantyhose. He put on the rest of his regular male clothes and noticed the earrings were still in his ears. "What about these?" he pleaded. "How will I explain pierced ears to the guys at work?" "Lots of guys have pierced ears now," Olivia replied, "but tell you what, you can remove one pair and wear these small hoops we bought. I'm sure nobody will even notice the other holes." Daniel came to the office and started his work as usual. The secretaries in Daniel's office were comparing notes regarding Daniel's new appearance. "His eyebrows seem trimmed into a feminine arch," one said. "And what's with the earrings in both ears?" chimed in another. Daniel's secretary, Sandra, added, "I've seen bra straps and panty lines through his clothes." The other women encouraged Sandra to investigate further and to expose him as a sissy if they were right, as he had always been kind of a sexist pig to the women around the office. The next time Sandra was called into Daniel's office, she worked her way around behind him and pretended to give him a back rub. Her earlier suspicions were confirmed when she clearly felt the outline of a lacy bra or camisole strap. "This is certainly not a t-shirt," she thought to herself. "Daniel, are you wearing a bra under your shirt?" she asked as she tugged on the strap to his camisole. Daniel stuttered and stumbled out. "No, what makes you think that?" "Well," she replied, "this lacy strap certainly does not attach to any t-shirt I've ever seen." Daniel's face turned crimson, and he wished he could find a hole and hide. How could Olivia have put me in this situation? He wondered to himself. "So I guess I'm right then, it is a bra you're wearing." "Why would a manly man like you be wearing such a dainty article of clothing?" continued Sandra. "It is not a bra," protested Daniel, realizing he was losing his case. "Okay, so it's a camisole. It is still nothing like men's underwear. How do you explain yourself, boss?" Daniel, ashamed at his predicament, looked at the floor and explained that his wife Olivia had made him wear women's underwear. Sandra was not willing to let him off the hook yet and wanted to know if she had been right about the rest of Daniel's underwear. "So if you are wearing a women's camisole under your shirt, I guess you are probably wearing panties under your male clothes. In fact, I'm sure I could see panty lines when you walked in this morning," Sandra said. Daniel did not respond. He simply sunk deeper and deeper into his chair. "Just as I thought," she said. "Well, let's see them." "Just as I thought," she said. "Well, let's see them." Go ahead and remove your shirt too. I want to see what kind of taste you have in lingerie. Realizing he had been defeated and not wishing for Sandra to reveal her discovery to the rest of the office, Daniel stood up and slowly removed his shirt and slacks. Sandra smiled broadly as she examined his matching camisole and panty set, his sheer pantyhose, and his smoothly shaven legs and underarms. Go ahead and take off those socks too, she instructed. A girl doesn't wear socks over pantyhose. She also noticed the ankle bracelet and asked Daniel to read the inscription. It says Missy, replied Daniel. Who is Missy? Asked Sandra. Already knowing the answer, Daniel blushed even deeper red, if that was possible, and explained that Missy was the name Olivia used for him when he was wearing women's clothes. So, you mean you dress completely as a woman, not just in ladies' lingerie, retorted Sandra. Daniel did not have to answer. His expression spoke much louder than any words. Sandra said, You can go ahead and put your clothes back on, except the socks. I kind of enjoy the idea of seeing your nylon-covered legs and pretty ankle bracelet below your pants leg. Daniel was very self-conscious the rest of the day, afraid that someone else would notice his camisole straps, panty lines, or see his nylon-covered ankles, which were highlighted by that damn bracelet. As Daniel was leaving for the day, Sandra stopped him and gave him a note addressed to Olivia. Daniel took the note and heard Sandra whisper, See you tomorrow, Missy, as he walked away. When Daniel arrived home, he complained to his wife about the ordeal he had suffered at work because of her insistence on wearing women's underwear. Olivia had little sympathy for the sissy and took the note he delivered from Sandra and excused herself to read it in privacy. The next morning was a repeat performance of the previous day, and Daniel again found himself walking into the office wearing panties and a camisole under his clothes, along with pantyhose and his ankle bracelet. Today, Olivia had added a touch of perfume, which Daniel was hoping would go unnoticed. When he entered his office, he found a single pink carnation on his desk with a card addressed to Missy. He opened the card and nearly broke into tears as it was signed by each of the women in his department. He knew that his life at work would be changed forever. Saturday came quickly, and it was again time to get ready for dance lessons. Daniel and Olivia were both very excited because today was to be the dress rehearsal for the dance contest next week. They had worked so hard with the others in their class to perfect several country line dances and couldn't wait to show their stuff at the competition. As Daniel showered, Olivia reminded him to shave his body and told him that she had laid out his outfit for the day. Daniel stopped in his tracks as he walked into their bedroom and discovered what Olivia had laid out on their bed. One of the Western skirt and blouse outfits they had purchased last Sunday during Missy's shopping expedition. On the bed was a full set of lingerie. Olivia walked into the room, dressed in the exact same outfit, and saw her dumbstruck husband staring at the clothes on the bed. As Daniel showered, Olivia reminded him to shave his body and told him that she had laid out his outfit. Hurry up, Missy. We still have to make you beautiful and we're running out of time, she said. Daniel stuttered and shook his head, begging Olivia not to make him dress this way for their dance class. Everyone there knows me. What will they think when we walk in as two girls? Pleaded Daniel. Olivia explained, You have no choice. The rest of the class is counting on you. Everyone knows you're a sissy anyway, the way you've been dressing during our lessons. Daniel was shattered. Olivia had been assuring him all this time that nobody had noticed. As Daniel showered, Olivia reminded him to shave his body and told him that she had laid out his outfit. Olivia helped him dress and apply his makeup, and made him file and paint his own fingernails a pretty pink color. He wore earrings in each pierced hole in his ears and was given a lady's watch and rings for his hands, including a wedding set for his left ring finger. We don't want any boys to think you're available, as cute as you look today, teased Olivia. Olivia curled Daniel's hair and pinned the hat to his head to make sure it stayed in place. Finally, she handed him the most feminine pink satin dance panties he had ever seen, covered with row after row of white eyelet lace, and instructed him to pull them on over his pantyhose. These are to cover your real panties, Olivia explained, since your skirt will be flying during our dance number, and it's not very ladylike for a girl to show off her undies. They were the first to arrive at the dance studio, and Emma complimented Daniel and Olivia on their matching outfits. You look adorable, Daniel, Emma told him. Thank you for cooperating with us for the competition, Daniel said. As the rest of the class members filed into the studio, Daniel noticed there were no men. Each male member of the other couples in the class was now dressed similarly to him. Daniel was very confused by all this, and was staring at the others as Emma called the class to order. I am so happy that everyone is appropriately attired for today's lessons. You new girls look delicious in your pretty outfits, particularly you, Daniel. Emma continued. You see, Daniel, the other new girls in the class have been dressing this way for some time, but we wanted you to be more comfortable and had them wear pants during the other lessons. Daniel came to realize that Emma made quite a good living feminizing husbands through her dance lessons, and that the other males in the class had been through the same ordeal as him. He was still unable to understand why, but his wife was obviously hell-bent on feminizing him, and curiously, he was beginning to enjoy his situation. Okay, girls, shouted Emma, it's time to get lined up for the first dance. We need to get through these numbers quickly since I have to distribute the outfits for the contest, she continued. As they did their dance numbers with fancy footwork, spins, and kicks, Daniel became aware that the panties he kept stealing peeks at were his own, and they were beautiful. Sometimes missing steps because he was so preoccupied with the frequent display of his panty-clad bottom, in addition to those of the other members of his class, both male and female. In fact, he was particularly interested in the other boy-girls in his class because their outfits and matching panties were, like his, much more feminine and prissy than those of the real women. He wondered to himself whether the other husbands in the class enjoyed the sights as much as he did. When Emma was satisfied with their dance numbers, she called them into the dressing room to distribute their dance costumes. Emma instructed each of the dancers to wear nude-colored pantyhose and then handed each a pair of white satin dance panties. When Daniel took his panties from Emma, he realized that each dancer's name was monogrammed on the bottom in red. After the dancing competition, Emma shared the biggest news of the day. The winner of the dance competition the following weekend would get to perform their dance on the Crossdressing country dance show. Daniel could hardly believe his ears. There was a good possibility that he would get to dance on TV, and the panties being displayed for anyone to see would include his own. Daniel and Olivia won the competition and were selected for the cross-dressing dancing show on TV. Everyone was surprised about Daniel's performance, and they wished Daniel and Olivia good luck to win the dancing competition on TV. Daniel's dreams came true, and he enjoyed his new life.